Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to episode 23 of Monorail Memoirs, where today we'll be discussing Disney's best ride vehicles. Disney have been some of the innovative leading edge of what we can do with ride vehicles. Some of the stuff's really impressive, some of it's now quite dated. I'm going to talk about what we consider to be the best amongst that. But before we get into that, as always, Lauren, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I've just had my nails done.
Oh, yes. Not in a Disney style, though.
No.
Disappointing behaviour. We much prefer it from the Disney style. Purpose of today then is going to be talking about the different ride vehicles Disney have got, what we sort of think about them, and also possibly where we could move to in the future. So we do have images to go along with this because, of course, we are well prepared here at Monorail Memoirs. This is a professional podcast, I assure you. With that being said, though, we'll get into it. So we're going to talk about the best Disney ride vehicles, and we'll start with the Haunted Mansion. So the Haunted Mansion has something called an Omnimover system. This is basically where the track never actually stops. So here you've got what they refer to as the Doom buggies, because it's Haunted Mansion. It's quite clever. But it's the same for Ariel in Magic Kingdom. It's the same over in Epcot for the Siege with Nemo and Friends. It is basically you get in and it follows a pretty straight track. There's nothing too interesting about them. But I don't know about you, Lauren. The Haunted Mansion, there's a scene at the end where they graphically put on you this idea that you've somehow got the ghost sitting in with you. Oh, it just looks so bad now.
Yeah, I remember when it first came about, it was like this really exciting technology and everyone was blown away by it. It was ace because it looked like you were taking a ghost home with you. And now it's just a bit like,
Oh, it's
it doesn't
awful.
work.
It's just awful. Like you see this kind of offset slightly. So the idea being if there's two of you and it's sat in the middle, well, actually it's sat on top of one of you. Oh, it's just a little bit painful.
It's not very
But
intelligent, is it? You know, like when you think about AI and what we can use technology for nowadays, it's just like a carbon copy. You get like the same three
oh,
scenes, don't you, essentially?
it's terrible. It's terrible. But that's the Omnimover, and it's actually a pretty consistent, pretty easy sort of ride system, and one that you'll see often throughout Disney. But one of the ones that's actually slightly more of a twist on a traditional format. So this is Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which of course replaced Splash Mountain. We can have that discussion another day, but it replaced it nevertheless. But it's a log flume ride. All it is a traditional log flume, but you've got two people sat side by side. These ones, of course, you will get wet on this. It used to be way worse.
Yeah.
The splash at the end, because it used to be you would come down and actually as you're hitting the water, you would get additional water jets from the sides coming in and drowning you. But this is as a log flume is really straightforward. Although it always has that smell, doesn't it, that I can't describe. There is a great video on YouTube. It was done by Rob Plays back when that was what his handle was. It's now something on Main Street is what he's changed it to now. But he went through an entire explanation as to why you will find that Disney water rides smell differently. It's something to do with the chemicals they put in the water, but it's actually quite pleasant. I mean, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Have you done it yet? Actually,
No, I haven't. I have seen a lot of reviews about it, but I've not actually done it yet. No.
No, we'll cover it when we do Springtime Surprise. I'm sure in April. But whilst this is the traditional log flume, there's more and other variations of water rides. So Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, this is quite a simple. It's a bench that moves, and it's the same for It's a Small World. There's nothing too interesting with it. The seats here, though, are very hard. You'll see there is no give. There's no padding in there. So if you are somebody who has issues, perhaps around seating and the comfort of seats, it might be worth either trying to bring a little cushion with you, or occasionally. I can't recommend this enough for somebody that we know that went through this, cycling shorts. Because cycling shorts have got that padding in for the derriere anyway. Like using that is a great shout. For guests who are in wheelchairs, for example, fear not, there are specific different boats on this and other rides that are designed for where they can quite literally keep you in the wheelchair and put you into the middle of the ride system so you can still ride with all your friends and family. Lauren, what do you think about the generic water rides that we have at Walt Disney World?
Yeah, I think as much as they are cult classics, I mean, I know that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a new overlay, but it's essentially the same ride as Splash Mountain. they're a little bit dated for me. I feel like they need just a bit more sprucing up. As you say, the comfort level isn't there. You can see on that ride, I know that it's practical, but there's the whole non-slip pad that you have to sit on, and it's just
I'm so glad you said this, because as I was putting this together, I started being like, oh goodness, like a lot of these systems that we're going to talk about, they're old, and they're starting to look old. And I think, especially when you compare to the success that Universal's had with Epic Universe,
Absolutely.
and everything of theirs is new, of course, because it's a new gate, it's a whole new park. But this is starting to look really tired and dated, and it's making me wonder, where is Disney's next big invention coming when it comes to ride things? People may have seen that they're trying. There's a department within Disney Imagineering that have created a floor by which you can walk on and not actually move anywhere. And the idea is you can perhaps interact in that way. It would have been great for Disney Quest back when that was a thing, but of course not anymore. But this is an example of clearly an older ride system. Disney is still doing some inventions moving forward. And so here we've got Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. The system, the ride system here looks pretty straightforward. It's just 2x2s. You sit down, you pull a lap down, and you go. But what you can't see in this image is that these 4, 5, 6 different carts will independently rotate. And you get the sensation then of not just doing the ride forward and backwards, but also you can be turning sideways during the attraction, which allows you to have your attention drawn to different points as you go around. And I actually think this is certainly where Disney could go in the future. This is a point that I have, and it's something I said first time I rode Cosmic Rewind, which was, if Space Mountain was made today, this is what it would look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I agree. You know, when you go onto the ride and you first look at it, if you're not seeing any POVs or anything like that prior to going on it, you think it's just a regular train kind of setup for a roller coaster, don't you? But yeah, little do you know that you can, the G's that are put on you because of the like different you know, kind of swirling around, whatever the technical word is, that you do is amazing. And as you say, you experience the ride totally differently because you are experiencing it not only front on, not only backwards, but all around you.
I think as well, one of the things that was interesting is, I don't know if you remember this, but people were saying they were feeling a certain degree of sickness or sort of. I never got that. Now, I don't know if that's just me, but I never got it, and nobody that I personally knew had ever experienced that sensation. But this is an example of what Disney can do in terms of still being a traditional roller coaster ride format, i.e., you sit in a cart, it goes on a track, but it's taking it to the next level by having that different element of rotation. There's something that Disney managed to do as well when it comes to changing some of how their ride's done. So this is the Chinese Theatre. This is Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. Of course, this replaced the Great Movie Ride, which was a very slow moving, but it was on a track. You had probably 5 or 6 rows of people as you went through the history of the movies, along with some interaction with sort of cast members. But now it's moved entirely through to a trackless ride system. So you get into this train setting, which looks kind of straightforward. You know, there's 3 or 4 of you in a row with a lap bar. But as you go through the attraction, there is no track. So the best way to look at this on the ground here is each one of these different carts acts independently, but they're all synchronized together. There will be various different, and it will not be GPS because, of course, Global Positioning Service indoors will not have the fidelity, but there will be a positioning system that they use to communicate position to each other and also where they're going next. And so as such, there is no track on the ground. It just looks like the floor, but they're moving independently. Another good example of this actually is Remy's Ratatouille in Disneyland Paris. Well, that's where it started. That's where it started. But in the France Pavilion, I do have a message that I need to pass off from my wife when her and I were talking about this episode, which is they will, just due to the busyness of this ride, they will fit 3 people in it. And if you are on the smaller side, you may be partnering with somebody who is not on the smaller side. Just be aware, it's 1 lap bar for all. And you don't get thrown around a lot, though, do you?
No. So I've ridden it with my son, and he was 3 at the time, and so obviously myself as an adult and a 3-year-old are entirely different sizes. And yes, it was one lap bar, so I did kind of have to, I felt like I had to hold him a little bit, but yeah, it's, you don't get chucked around a lot, you know, you're not going to be like flailing around, and it's not like Big Thunder where you're up and down. So if you are with someone slightly bigger than you, you do get thrown around quite a bit. It's nothing like that. It is very gentle, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think the main thing that I would worry about, and you can kind of see it on that photo, is that there are sort of partitions between the seats. So if you are on the larger side, that is a consideration, that you might not be fully comfortable because, you know, your legs and your thighs might be, you know, touching the sides a little bit. It doesn't prevent people from riding the ride, I don't think, but it's just a little bit uncomfortable, I'd say.
Indeed, and for those users of wheelchairs and with limited access, there are also, as there are on basically not on all, but in the vast majority of Disney rides, there are wheelchair-specific options where they will put your wheelchair with you into the ride vehicle, and it's modified so you can still enjoy this particular event with your party. Moving away from tracks then, and well, trackless, but moving away from traditional ride vehicles, I'm going to take us towards Star Tours. And one of the things that Star Tours has is basically this is just a massive simulator. So you all walk in, you sit down, you've got your glasses, you've got your 3D glasses on, and the entire simulator moves. It was the same with Body Wars back in the day. I'll be honest. Yes, these are all right, and yes, they can give a bit of a sensation, but I think people, especially the first time riding this, actually think that it moves more than it does. It's various different pressure points which basically just tilt in different directions, and there's a little bit of shaking and vibration. It doesn't really do much in terms of going places, so you don't need to worry about it that way. But there's one simulator ride that people do dislike, which is Mission Space.
Yeah, that they even comes with sick bags kind of in the vehicle right there for you.
Because Mission Space, you're strapped in. There's 4 of you. You're strapped in, and the console comes towards you. If you are claustrophobic, you will know about this. And there's 2 versions of Mission Space. I just want to be really clear. There's the green and there's the orange. The green is less intense. You don't feel G-forces or anything like that. There's some vibrations. Whereas the orange, due to the spinning mechanism of the ride, you do on takeoff get pushed back into your seat, and you really do feel like the oppression of the forces coming right onto you. So just something to be aware of. If you don't like spinning simulators or dark rides, don't do Mission Space. There are some less inventive options, however. Lauren, what are we looking at?
Oh, it's the Dumbo ride. Then I love now the fact that there's 2 of them side by side in Magic Kingdom. So way back before New Fantasyland, there was only one Dumbo ride, and it's kind of iconic. You know, it was slap bang in the middle of Fantasyland. It was, you know, a really kind of nostalgic ride. And so when they moved it through to New Fantasyland and more into Storybook Circus and got 2 of them there, great idea. However, it is just a spinning ride.
You could find this at the county fair if you're in the States. If you can find it on a travelling fair back in the UK, the fact that they just happen to be painted and sculpted as Dumbo. It's the same with the Aladdin carpets as well. There's nothing to them, and actually quite boring. And this is one of the things that Disney doesn't really talk about this much, but they use these as filler rides. The idea, especially if you've got little children, you may not be able to do some of the big e-ticket attractions. E-ticket, for those that don't know, refer to the biggest, largest, most impressive attractions. It comes back to when they used to have ticket books where you used to get X number for A rides, B, C, D, and D. E-ticket. So the e-ticket attractions, a lot of youngsters aren't tall enough to be able to ride it, etc. So this is one of those fillers, but this could be done anywhere, really.
I do just want to highlight the queue. I know that we're not talking about queues, we're talking about ride vehicles, but I do want to highlight the queue here. They do actually have a playground within the queue for this ride, and you get a little blicker thing. And so your children can play, and you get a blicker, and then you go through and
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's got like a little play area.
So I had no idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
learning has taken place. You can tell that I don't have children when I do Disney. But some of the things that Disney do really well, though, are pushing the boat out when it comes to the types of adventures and rides that it can offer. And so I went backwards by accident there. As I move forwards in the slide deck, you'll see Kilimanjaro Safari. This is in Animal Kingdom. Lauren's favorite ride, if I recant correctly.
Absolutely.
Where you will sit in a fully functioning, working safari vehicle where you get 4, maybe 5 people on a row at most, probably about 8 rows deep, and they will drive you around for about 20-25 minutes, and you get to look at various different safari animals in their natural habitat. I think this is one of the things that separates Disney from just other theme parks. The Dumbo ride, as mentioned, you can find that anywhere with a different overlay. Yes, some rides in some places can do the simulators or the thrill rides, but it's this sort of thing that Disney does better than anyone.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely love this ride. And it's even just the fact that if you think about it in cost perspective, it would cost so much to run this ride because you need to employ a cast member per ride vehicle. Think about that. That is not cost effective whatsoever. This ride is absolutely for guest experience, for education, conservation, all that sort of stuff. And that is, I suppose, one of the reasons why I love it is because it is so unique and you can't get it anywhere. As you say, you can get all the other rides in different places. I mean, heck, as we said, Universal, Epic Universe, they do a lot of rides better than they do Disney. But not this. This is specific.
Completely agreed, and it's one of the things that separates Disney apart from the rest. And it is a fantastic experience, and it's different every time. That's one of the things, it's different every time. There is one more ride vehicle that I do want to mention, and that is the monorail itself. Is the monorail a ride? I don't know. Maybe it is. One of the things that is really underwhelming, though, when you look at photographs, is that the inside just looks really bland.
It looks sad.
It's just the idea being there's these central bits where you can put a pram, for example, or a stroller for our American folks. But you can put a pram or you can stand or what have you. These do have a distinct smell as well, and I can't quite explain what it is or why it is. But do not underestimate how impressive the monorail system really is. There is one thing that we need to actually nail down a bit. So, Lauren, what is your favorite ride vehicle within Walt Disney World?
So I feel like I probably already gave it away, but definitely Kilimanjaro Safaris, just because of the uniqueness of it. The fact that they employ a cast member per ride vehicle just blows my mind. I mean, I know that cast members are worth their weight in gold and they don't get probably paid as much as they should do, but I just think it's amazing that they have somebody per ride vehicle. It just blows my mind. And it also gives you, as you say, that unique experience because that cast member will be able to maybe hone in on one of their really, exciting facts or something that they really enjoy. And it's nice to hear it from different people's perspectives as well, because it's not necessarily a script, a bit like Jungle Cruise is slightly scripted. This, I think, is much less scripted, and they must memorize so many different facts, and it just depends on what animal they see, and so therefore what fact you're going to get. And I love that spontaneity of it as well.
Agreed. Kilimanjaro Safari ride vehicle is very good. Unfortunately, the best ride vehicle is the Carousel of Progress. You didn't see that coming, did you? You didn't see that coming. This is a ride vehicle because the theatre rotates. And so therefore it is a ride vehicle. Here's the retro overlay that they've put on somewhat recently. So yes, the best ride vehicle is the Carousel of Progress. With that in mind, I thank you all, as always, for watching. Our ticker has changed, in case you haven't noticed. We want to do an episode where we invite a guest on. You don't have to be huge Disney nerds, but it would help if you were. And basically what we'll do is we'll ask you to explain what your favorite park is, and then we'll get you to defend it. Please reach out to us either directly from email, on Instagram, on TikTok, or just in the comment section of this video. It's nice and simple. So you'll see that ticker going on for a couple of weeks, and we'll do it towards the end of this year, hopefully sort of maybe November, December time. But you get the idea. With that said, thank you all very much for watching. As always, we will see you next time. And as always, please stand clear of the doors. Bye, everybody.
Bye.